What's up guys, it's Roger and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use your Blink in Trials of Osiris on Altar of Flame. Now Altar of Flame is a pretty good map when it comes to Blink. It has pretty open areas, not very many roofs or whatnot to stop your Blinks from being as useful and successful as they can be, and you can get the drop on your enemies pretty well. Now that being said, there are a lot of distances you have to cover when it comes to your Blink on this map, so I do recommend having as much Blink distance as you can, which is why today we are going to be using an Astrocyte Verse, because I think that is the best way to go when you want to be super aggressive, and I am still using a very aggressive Blink build today, so Astrocyte Verse is what we're going to be using as our exotic. Now, there are some ways I like to really use this map to my advantage, and I'm going to be using a bit of a Scatternade build today, just like I actually did last week. If you want to go check that out when I was doing Trials of Osiris on Endless Veil, I showed you a very good Scatternade strategy, and this week is going to be very similar. Now last week was very much focusing on those Scatternades. This week is focusing more on a mixture of an aggressive shotgun Blink playstyle with the Scatternades as a nice little icing on top of the cake, you know, cherry on top of the sundae, but it is still very much part of my strategy, and we will get into that later on. But let me show you what build we are using exactly to enable this entire strategy to work. So starting off here, we have the Astrocyte Verse. Of course, this is going to be our Blink exotic, and people are asking me, you know, should I use Astrocyte Verse or Transversive Steps or this or that or the Ophidians, you know. In my opinion, after playing with Blink, you know, Blink is all I use when it comes to PvP, you know. So I have a pretty good opinion of what you should use on your Blink Warlock, Blink Hunter, whatever it may be. If you want to leave comments and asking questions, I'm always happy to answer them. But I like to answer them in these videos just so I can kind of say it broadly to everyone, especially for people who don't want to comment and they just kind of think it, but they want to know. Astrocyte Verse is going to be your best choice, no matter what, when it comes to using Blink. Sure, you can use Ophidian so you can switch between your guns really fast, but here's the thing about Astrocyte Verse. Let's go ahead and read the passive armor per here so we can see exactly what it does. So you're going to be able to blink further and more frequently. We love to have that, of course. Your weapon readies quickly out of blink, and your radar remains up as you go through a blink. Provides a moderate benefit to the airborne effectiveness stat of all weapons. So your Astrocyte Verse gives you so many boosts. First, like we were saying earlier, you get to blink further and more frequently. That's extremely useful, especially when you're trying to get on top of your enemies on a map that is so spread apart like Altar of Flame tends to be, and how far away your enemies are going to be sitting, especially if they're sniper players. After that, weapons readies quickly out of blink, and your radar remains up. Your radar staying up when you go through a blink is something that very much enables you to be successful in your blink shotgun playstyle, and you can do well without it, and I show you many videos where I have done well without it, but it just makes it that much easier to have a very aggressive blink playstyle when you can see your enemies on that radar the entire time you go through your blink and keep track of them as best as possible. As well as your weapons ready quickly out of blink, what this means is you get 100 handling to whatever weapon you are pulling out as you come out of a blink when you have your Astrocyte Verse equipped. So when you come out of that blink, you're going to have plus 100 handling to any weapon you pull out, and I think that lasts for a couple of seconds even after you come out of that blink. So you guys gotta remember that you don't even need quick draw necessarily on your shotguns even, because you can just pull your shotgun out really quickly before you come out of that blink, or you know, or an SMG or a sniper even, you know, any gun you want, plus 100 handling to that weapon. So that's something that it has over Ophidians. Of course, Ophidians is going to help you do that at all times, but you don't always need to do that at all times, and just this applying when you're coming out of your blink is something that's very useful. And then last but not least, you get plus 30 actually to your airborne effectiveness stat of all weapons, which is nothing to scoff at, and it's actually quite a big boost when you look at a lot of other boost that you get from other exotics. I know last week, for instance, I was doing Eye of Another World, and that gives you plus 15 to your airborne effectiveness. So this is something that gives you all the way to a plus 30, so double an Eye of Another World, and all the other boosts it gives you on top of that. Astrocyte Verse is just a highly effective exotic, and it really does take Blink to the next level. You can be extremely successful without Astrocyte Verse 100% of the time, I do want to say that, but if you very much want to sweat with your Blink and take it to the next level of the effectiveness it can have, then you do want to use your Astrocyte Verse in my opinion. You can go ahead and check out the mods here. We have a pulse rifle and a shotgun on, so we do have mods that are going to help us with that. You saw my gloves there. I did have a quick charge mod, and we have the bonus activated there, so we have ever ready. So that's going to give us plus 20 handling to our shotgun because it does not have quick draw, so we're going to be able to pull that out a little bit faster because of that mod. Down here we have some utility kickstarts, so every time that we use our class ability all the way, that is going to help us get our class ability energy back even faster, so we can always have our wrists up, which we very much like to see. On our stat distribution here, I was trying to keep it as high as I could with our recovery, of course. I have 65 mobility, but we do have double lightweight frame weapons, so technically I am always at 80 mobility, so you need to keep that in mind because your lightweight frame weapons are going to give you a plus 20 boost to your mobility, not to mention a 6.25% sprint speed bonus. After that, I did try to get as much discipline as I could because we are focusing on these scatter nades quite a bit. So I'm at 89, I wish I could get to 90 or 100, but with the armor I have now, I'm sitting around 89. And then 86 on intellect. I don't really try to go for high intellect, it's just what my armor has right now. If I get different armor in the future that can give me some higher, discipline instead of intellect, I would enjoy that. Why don't we go over here and look at our weapons though? So the star of the show, our primary weapon is going to be a BXR-55 Battler Pulse Rifle. Now this is a Legacy PR-55 frame, you see it says here. So this has very, very good hip firing. And it's actually something that you should not sleep on in the slightest. When you can get in those ranges that a SMG honestly, or even a little farther than SMG, flourishes in, the hip fire can be extremely effective. And when you get used to the hip fire aim, you can just hit someone in the head really, really quick in like 2.5 bursts in the head when you're hip firing from not very far away, and it can be extremely useful. Especially my role here has kill clip. You get that kill, you reload, and then you could hip fire down the next one. Don't sleep on the hip fire. Now, while it says it's a Legacy PR-55 frame, it is technically under that a lightweight frame pulse rifle. So when they balance lightweight frame pulses, the BXR falls into that archetype of pulses. So that's what I was telling you earlier, we are on a double lightweight frame build here, so we do get plus 20 mobility and that sprint speed bonus when we do have this gun out, so you need to keep that in mind. It does not matter which gun you are running around with. When you use this build that I'm showing you today, you will always have that lightweight frame bonus to your character, so that's very much something you need to think about. I have small bore on here, accurized rounds, demolitionist is the other thing, and then kill clip like I showed you. Demolitionist is good, of course, because I said we are focusing a good amount on our scatter nades with this build and this strategy, so demolitionist is just another thing that can help us get our nades back very, very quickly on top of our discipline stat being high and some other things I'll show you when it comes to our fragments and aspects. I do have a counterbalance stack on here. You're going to see that's going to make a recoil direction of 85, which is very manageable. Even if you are in controller, I'm sure that is extremely manageable. I usually use full auto retrofit when it comes to my pulse rifles, but this is actually one of the only pulses in the entire game that I prefer to have not on full auto. I want to click it every single time just because of, I don't know what it is. I think it's because of just the way it shoots, the gun feel itself. I prefer to not have it on full auto. Pairing with that, we have a Wastelander M5 shotgun. So we have the Dares of Eternity weapons today, actually. Even our heavy weapon is going to be from Dares of Eternity. This is, again, a lightweight frame shotgun, and one of the best in the game. This has a tiny reticle when it comes to hip firing, and it makes it, to me, much easier to hip fire, although I do always recommend you aim down sights. Of course, I don't have quick draw on here like I was telling you, so our handling is at 71. You get the plus 20 from the Ever Ready perk, and that goes all the way to 91. And then, of course, as you come out of your blink anyways, if you want to pull your shotgun out as you come out of a blink, you get plus 100 handling, so you basically have quick draw applied as you exit a blink anyways. So you have so many ways to easily pull your shotgun out. You don't even need quick draw if you don't want it. Now I have Corkscrew here, Assault Mag, Slide Shot, which is a very nice perk, and then Killing Wind, not to mention a range masterwork, so 59 range, nothing to laugh at there, very good. Quick access sling, just so we can pull this weapon out a little quicker, just in general. This says it increases the weapon's ready and stow speed, so this is actually going to apply to the weapon's animation. It actually turns down the time that the animation takes to happen. It doesn't apply any more handling, so that's actually good for us though. We can get our handling really high, and then we can pull down the animation time it actually takes to ready the weapon, so we very much like to see that. Last but not least, I do have the other half sword down here with an eager edge. I don't think I use this at all this week. There's other times when I do use it some weeks, but mostly I don't really care for heavy ammo. But this week I did not use it at all, really. All of that being covered, I think we can go ahead and hop into our Void 3.0. So starting with our super here, I am using Nova Bomb. Like I tell you every week, I just can't heavily recommend you to use a roaming super like Nova Warp, although I love Nova Warp, and if you go look at some of my more casual plays, like when I do survival videos, you'll see I love using Nova Warp, and I almost always have it on. But when it comes to trials, you just can't get roaming supers fast enough for me to actually seriously recommend them. When most games end by around 5, 6, or 7, you might not even get something like a Nova Bomb. So when you're especially not getting something like a roaming super, I can't in good conscience recommend that to you, so I will say Nova Bomb is the way to go in my opinion. When it comes to our abilities, we have a Healing Rift, Blink of course, Pocket Singularity of course, because that is our one choice. Hey Bungie, give us back the old Nova Warp mid-tree melee. It was so good, everybody wants it back. Give it back to us. You already have it programmed into the game. You literally just took it out and then gave us this as our only choice. Why? Give us that melee back. That's all I'm saying, okay? I gotta put that out there sometimes. And then scatter nades, like I said, they are a very big part of our build. And then amazing nade, it's one of the only nades in here that can easily one-hit KO some people. So we'd love to have scatter nades on. When it comes to our aspects, we have Feed the Void. That's going to give us 2 fragment slots. Of course, that's going to let us proc our Devour whenever we can get a kill with a Void ability, so we can full heal each time we get a kill, and that's going to give us some grenade energy back, so we very much love to see that. And then we have Child of the Old Gods, or as we know him on my channel, Clarence. Clarence is my son from the Void, and he very much is an effective aspect to have on. He's going to go out, he's going to deny area, he's going to do damage, he's going to weaken enemies. When they die, they can give you some Devour procs, and all this good stuff. Not to mention he's going to give you grenade and melee energy back when you're running a Healing Rift like we are today. So there's just so many parts of Clarence that are immensely powerful, and this is honestly one of the best base aspects in the entire game, in my opinion. Now we come down here to our fragments. We have on Echo of Dilation, Wall Crush, you sneak faster and gain enhanced radar resolution, plus 10 mobility and plus 10 intellect. You can never go wrong with those raw stats, but the best part about this is that increased enhanced radar. That enhanced radar is something that really lets you depict exactly where your enemies are and how many enemies are in a certain area, especially when you're looking through a wall, and it helps you know when you want to be aggressive with your Blink Shotgun playstyle like we're using today. After that, we have Echo of Persistence, Void Blast applied to you, so your invisibility, Overshield, and for us, Devour have increased duration. That's going to make your Devour go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. 15 seconds of Devour is crazy long to have when you think about it. In a game like Destiny, where every second can matter, those 5 extra seconds applied to your Devour can really enable some insane plays. You do lose 10 recovery there, I will say, so make sure you're keeping yourself at 100 recov. Then we have Echo of Expulsion, so those Void ability final blows cause targets to explode, and plus 10 intellect again. Can't go wrong with those raw stats. And that's basically going to be helpful when we kill somebody with our Clarence, with our melee, or with our grenade, and then they can explode again a second later is essentially what happens, and they can take somebody else out with them if you do good damage to them as well, and this can kind of set off a chain, reaction where you can kill an entire enemy team very easily. And then last but not least, we have Echo of Exchange, so melee final blows grant grenade energy. This is just one final way to help us get grenade energy back, so we can make sure we always have those scatter nades up at the beginning of a round, because they are a pretty big part of our strategy. All that being said, I think we have everything covered. Before we get into the gameplay, I do want to say we are on the road to 10k subs, so if you'd like to join at any point in the video, I'd very much appreciate that. But even more important than that, if you just want to leave me a like on this video, I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to see like 70 likes, could be really cool. That tells YouTube that you're enjoying the video, and then hey, they can show the video to more people, and that really just helps me out. So thank you very much for doing any of that, but if you just want to watch the video and enjoy, that is completely fine with me too. All that being said, I think we're ready to get into this gameplay, so why don't we go ahead and blink on into it. So coming into this first play, you're going to see I like to blink towards mid. Middle map is usually where I stay on this map, just because it's the best place to fight for me. I throw a rift down, and then I throw my scatter nade, you're going to see towards this staircase over here. After I take some shots, these guys send Clarence out. People love to play on that staircase there, and you can see I kill him, so I have my Devour proc, I'm fully healed. I fly in with my shotgun, and I go on the second guy. And I smack him really quick, and now I already have 2 of the enemy down. Looking at my radar, see the last one is towards my left. I blink over onto him and start taking shots. Unfortunately, he's kind of like whizzing around me. Throws a really good spike grenade into the ground, actually took me out. Luckily, teammates followed up though and took out. So you can see, that's what I'm saying. When you come to middle map here, you're looking for places you can use your scatter nade to take your enemy out very, very quickly, proc a Devour, and then maybe go in aggressively with your shotgun. You can see this round though, I didn't have my scatter nade up, so I went towards the stairs here, and I peeked onto these guys, took them out with my teammates very easily. Now I do want to say, I'll have a clip I'll show you later, where somebody's standing where these guys were, and he was invis, and because of the lighting on this game, I couldn't see him at all, and I'll show you that clip when it gets to it later, but just be aware that when you are on these maps that are very bright on the outside, I don't like to play there if the enemy has a bunch of invis hunters, because they can crutch those invis hunters really well, and you basically just can't even see them, and it's really stupid. I throw in the scatter nade here, smack these guys up. Unfortunately, no pick, but you see where I threw it right there? In that little corner? That's exactly where you're trying to throw it. That little corridor there, people often run through there, they take their aims, and then you can just take them out, blow them up, take some shots, and really get your Devour proc and take them out quickly. You can see I smacked both those guys there with a nice scatter nade plus the combination of my BXR and just hitting some nice shots. We're looking for the last guy. I finally see him on radar. Gonna fly off towards him, but luckily my teammate has the heavy ammo and just puts him into the dirt. And I'm coming around to the left side here again. I did not have my scatter nade on this round. It's 4-2, and I knew the enemy liked to snipe from here, but I knew they weren't very well at looking at their radar and finding where the enemy was, and I knew I could face off with him from a pretty good range here. Now, as a lightweight frame Pulse, it's not going to have the greatest range in the world, but it still has crazy range. You know Pulses are very, very good in the meta right now, and this map really makes them shine to a different level. Now, we took that guy out, so I'm just kind of looking. I want to take this shield out a little bit and just look for the last two. I see they're to my right, so now I'm looking over there with my teammates. We're going to take them out. I see my teammate put down his Well of Radiance. I go in so I can get my super charged, and I'm also charged with light now. Looking for the last guy, I blink to the right of him, throw my super in because it is the last round, fly out there so I can take him out with a shotgun, and then I'm just like, okay, this guy's being really annoying, so I push him into my own Nova Bomb, take some damage, and take him out with a nice shotgun play there. Now again, we're blinking into mid. I almost have my nade, not quite yet, and then now it's up, so I throw it in to a spot where I know people love to sit. He has to back up into that nade or take shots from me. What he does is he takes shots from me, and I'm just waiting to get my rift down. 3 peek with that, and I see there's 2 enemies to my left there. Now I don't know if I really want to peek them, so I'm kind of just chilling, and I saw my enemies traded with my teammates, so it's 1 for 1. We're in a 2v2 right now, so I blink over here to get towards my enemy's res, so I can just kind of set up over here. Clarence goes out. Now watch that clearance. It's going to be very important. In 3, 2, 1, Clarence just got a kill. I'm back to full health. I actually used a technique called a blink pop-up slam right there on that guy. You might have saw my hitbox look really funky. It's because I had a little ledge in front of me, and if you blink immediately into a little ledge in front of you, it'll actually take your hitbox and slam it into an invisible roof and slam you right back down. That let me change my hitbox really quickly, get down on top of that guy and punch him once and take him out. I have an entire video covering that technique and how you can actually practically use them, although practically using them on purpose in combat is kind of difficult to do, but I will link that video on the top right if I can remember, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Now you can see here my teammates got taken out. I was looking for this res and I finally saw there it is. Take out that guy, have kill clip proc, and you can see 33 to the head. So what is that? 99 damage with 1 burst. If you can triple headshot them when you have kill clip proc, is nothing to laugh at, and it took me out that. Help me take that guy out really quick. You can see the scatter nade there. That's the exact position I'm talking about. People love to peek on that staircase, and if I threw it about half a second later, I would have taken him out with that nade completely. Clarence is in there weakening. I already know I can go in because I know exactly where that first res is, so that's what I do. I see this guy, he's kind of backing up for me. I blink over this wall, land on him, and easily take him out to secure that round for me and the boys. Now coming into this next clip, I'm going to blink into mid again. I take that nade and I shove it in there. This is round 1. Using those, you can see how much damage, look how much damage I just did. Using this technique in round 1 is the best thing you can do because your enemy doesn't know how you're playing yet. So when you do that in round 1, then the enemy doesn't know what's going to hit them, you know? And that's when you really want to try to take advantage of that. It's the unexpected, you know? Blink is so much about the unexpected. Now I do want to say right here, watch when I res my teammate. I push him out of the way. Make sure you push your teammates when you res. If I didn't push him, he probably would have just got smacked immediately. But since I pushed his hitbox and I changed his hitbox for him, he was able to get out of getting shot by these enemies and live a little longer to help me and my other teammate fight. And that enables us to completely clean up this round and just win it. Come up behind this guy. He either has to go behind his shield or get smackaged. I didn't even think he had Peregrines on here, but apparently he just like one-shotted me with the Titan charge because, you know, I don't know, balance. I come outside here. If I don't have my scatter nades or really any abilities up, I like to play outside because I can get a shot from them onto the side of the enemy and let my teammates push up. Unfortunately, I got a little low here, so I used a horizontal forward blink with no vertical movement putting into my blink there, just so I can get as much forward movement as possible from my blink and get away from my enemy's line of sight, get back to my teammate and see if we can just take shots together. Some really good shots on this guy, lets me dust him, reload, get kill clip procced, smack the next guy, he's weakened, and kill clip is going to smack him really quick. I know both the reses are to my left. I want to see if I can take some range fights, but I said screw it, I'm just going to go in with the shotgun, with my shot there with the shotgun, but I was able to punch him in the booty cheeks and take him out really quick. Again, we're coming towards mid, we see it's a heavy round, throw the nade in straight to the corridor there. Unfortunately, he had already pushed up, but that was okay. Smack him with the teammates, take some nice shots, take out the second guy, and I'm looking for the third, hit him with some nice kill clip shots, but it's time to fly in with a shotgun, smack him really quick, put him in the dirt, and that's going to enable us to win that round very, very quickly. I think by now you're going to start seeing what I mean with the blinking on this map being quite long distances, so you really need to make sure you have something before you go in with those blinks, and usually for me that's enabling a kill on my enemies. If I get that first pick, that's when I really start going aggressive with my shotgun, but if I don't have that yet, then I don't really do the aggression, because blinking into 3 enemies when there's so much space between you on a map like this is very, very dangerous. So you can see there, okay, I have a pick. I use the hip fire there. That's what I'm saying right there. The hip fire on this gun is so amazing. And then I'm going in very aggressive with the blinking, looking for the 3rd guy. But until I have 1 or 2 picks, I don't try to cross those very far distances often with my blink, because you're going to get yourself caught out. And if 3 people catch you out with their line of sight and you're in a blink, then you're probably going to get smacked pretty easily. So you need to be careful of that. So that's why I try to use strategies like this with a scatter nade, with a pretty good pulse rifle that has the lightweight frame bonus still, where I can get those longer range picks, and once I have those, I can transition that into my aggressive close range play. But until I have that pick, like right now, we have a pick on our enemies. I actually have my super here, and I see there's another one. There's another long range pick, excuse me. My tongue is tied up like a cherry knot. I'm looking at this last guy, and you can see I just want to take him out, but I want to be careful. He might be coming back here, so I throw my scatter nade to cut him off, and he comes back here. I'm like, you know what? It's the end of the game. I might as well just throw my super out here and turn this guy's pussy into ground beef. Here is the play right here. Look forward. Tell me if you see an enemy right here. Do you see one? Neither did I, but apparently I should have followed the freaking Blues Clues and saw that he was right in front of me the entire time, and I just had to show that clip to you guys to just tell you, be careful if there's invis hunters in the enemy team on this map, because look at these guys. Like, if they were in front of the sun right here, I wouldn't have saw them. Now you can see here, I didn't have a pick when I went aggressive, but what I did have was some damage done, and I knew exactly where he was going. He had no other choice but to go where I shot him right there and killed him. So since I knew where he had to go, I did get aggressive in 1v3, you know, I guess I should say 3v3, but what I'm trying to say is they were all alive, and I still chose to go aggressive because I already had some damage done on him, and because I knew exactly where he had to push into. So if you do have those scenarios, you can get aggressive. Again, right here, you see I cut him off and I did some damage with my scatter nade, took some shots with my BXR. I take a nice peek on him, he's really low, and I'm just looking, do I want to get aggressive? Probably not yet, especially when I have my rift coming up, but there we did get a pick, and now I can send in Clarence. You can see we get another pick, Clarence is going in. I'm looking at my radar for the last one, I see he's over to my right, so I fly in on him, and my teammates take him out before I get there. You're trying to use your blinks, of course, to get those good flanks on your enemies, get to the sides of them and take them out, and really just pinch them with your teammates, because you're going to get there fast with your blinks and pinch your enemies before they really know what is happening. Now be careful, if you're holding the position I'm holding right now and you want to pink to your left, that's fine, but you need to watch your right because you're going to be completely open from your right flank, so you need to keep an eye on that as well. I fly in with a shotgun here, you can see another blink pop-up slam, smack the first guy, see the second guy's on me, I fly up on him, throw a scatter nade to cut his rotation off if he wants to go forward, take a nice shotgun shot here, did not kill him, but luckily a great flank and follow-up from my teammates is going to let us secure that round very, very easily. Now you can see here I have no abilities as I come up into this lane, but I did get my rift here, throw that down, and I'm just ready to peek off into corridor. I think this was pretty far into the game at this point. Yeah, 4-4, so I knew how they like to play at this point, and I knew they wanted to play in this little area. Throw in my scatter nade just in case he ego challenged. If he had ego challenged, my scatter nade would have absolutely turned him into a bag of milk, and I would have just been able to throw him down the highway. He did not ego challenge, so it didn't really matter. So at that point, I just wanted to back up because there were so many supers coming into play at this point, and I already used my super in the previous round. So I needed to just be careful. You can see though my enemies are coming to my right, so I just try to take a peek on them, and I get a really good peek on this guy, smack him up really easily, refill my magazine so I can get my kill clip loaded, take some really good shots on that guy, and I decided to blink to my right just to be careful because I saw some supers were popping, fly forward, saw he popped his blade barrage, and smack him to secure that last round there and secure that entire match. Now, if the heavy is spawning, which it's going to spawn, of course, 1 or 2 times throughout the match, you want to make sure you're covering that, and it's very easy to cover in this map. Be careful of this spot. You see that guy was just peeking there. I took him out pretty easily. There's a really cheesy spot you can do right there and just sit on a little block and take shots at your enemies. Sniper players love to sit there, and you just need to be careful of it because people will scum that spot, so just make sure you are aware of it and can take shots into your enemies. You can see perfect scatter nade there, my Devourer is procced, I can see there's one more enemy to my left, but instead of getting aggressive, I decided to wait with my Clarence, send in Clarence, and now that I have him about half health and getting weakened by Clarence, I fly in with my shotgun, take him out easily, kind of whiff my shotgun shot there, but I did make him volatile and do a little damage. Teammates follow up beautifully, and we take them out. That's another thing that I want to say, if you do happen to get that nice scatter nade kill, you don't have to get aggressive. you can always chill, you know, you can always just wait, especially if the res is out in the open like that, because as soon as they res, you can either farm the res, or you can do some damage to the second guy. He manages to show his hitbox while he's resing, and then you can fly in aggressively after that. You don't have to go balls to the wall in every play if you don't want to. It is all about knowing when to use your aggression correctly, and especially with Blink, when you're going to be able to cover those long distances very fast, you can use that aggression in a measured sense. It doesn't just have to be balls to the wall every time. I blink over my enemy here, assuming that he's going to push forward onto me. He kind of didn't, but I was able to map him and smack him really well there. Look at my teammate's res, but I was getting chased. Was able to flick around really quick, take him out. I knew there was one more. I saw by my radar ping that he was very close. Threw out a scatter nade just to cut him off in case he pushed, but he didn't. Get my teammate's res, fly over with a blink, smack him really quick with a nice melee shotgun play right there. I was able to take them all out very well with my aggression right there. Now again, I was playing here, I knew there was no enemies to my right, but I knew they were all in the corridor here. Smack one, fly forward, smack the second one, and I was very happy. I was like, oh, we can win this, but then Dead Messenger Crutch comes out and hits me. I was like, okay, my teammates will push here and easily kill this guy, but they just took forever. We did eventually win this round. I couldn't show it all to you because it was just so cringy to me how long my teammates just sat here and basically threw the round almost because they just got scared and they just sat there. And it's like, just push. There's two of you, there's one of him. You know, you could have easily went and took the reses and taken him out or resed me or really anything, but just don't be scared if you're the teammates in that situation because you're just going to throw a round away maybe for no reason. You can see we have the pick here, and I know they are both in the right pocket here. So I fly in, take two nice shotgun shots, or actually a shotgun melee, take him out, blink over this guy's head, and smack him pretty easily with the teammates to get a nice little round win there. Coming into this next play, I'm going to throw my nade in here. We're going to take some shots if we can, but unfortunately no one really peeked fast enough there. I tickled him a little bit, but not enough to really matter. But we do send Clarence out to kind of hold that area and see if we can kill them. I knew if this guy peeked on the stairs, I was going to take him out very fast, so I took a risky peek here and did take him out. Kill clip is proc, but luckily, or unfortunately I should say, there was nobody to take shots on. I do hit this guy in the head really quick, and then my teammates follow up. I push onto him, and we take him out pretty easily for a nice round win. Now coming in this play, I didn't have any abilities up except for my rift just came up, so I slapped that down. We're just going to take a 3-peek with that, and we're looking at our radar. You can see I like to use the dilation radar right there even, because it works at a long range too, and I saw there was one enemy sort of on the stairs, and one more towards the left where I'm blinking right now to take them out, smack this guy, and you can see I use my radar again, look right behind me on my radar. As soon as I got the first kill, I looked at my radar. As soon as you're in those close range engagements, you need to look at your radar after every single kill for about half a second, analyze it, see where your next enemy is, and then flick onto them, or else you're just going to get smacked. And so looking at your radar very quickly and learning how to shift your eyes very fast in those scenarios is something that every good player is going to need to do over time, and it's going to kind of come with muscle memory, you know. You get the muscle memory in your hands and whatnot, of course, when it comes to your movement and whatnot, but you need the muscle memory of your eyes as well, of where to be looking at your screen at certain times. Most of the time, yeah, you do want to be looking at your radar, just like right now, so you can see exactly where your enemies are, and then you need the muscle memory of, okay, how do I aim exactly on these enemies, take them out. You can see this guy's weakened, so I fly in, try to take him out with 2 shots. I was able to throw my melee out there. You can see it tracks onto him, pushes him back, take him out with some nice shots. Unfortunately, they are a little delayed there. I mean, this entire season of Destiny has been very, very laggy, and this one was no different, but that play, I was just like, holy heck, because I shot that guy, killed him, and it was like 2 seconds later, finally went off. You can see I killed that guy, I have my Devour procced, face off with this guy, smack him. Now I can get kill clip if I want, but I decided just to go for my shotgun play here, shoot him once, slide in, smack him with a good map there, and was able to take all 3 of them out that round for some really good slaying out there. Now this is a round 1, of course, like I said, so we throw out the nade there. You can see how much damage I did, and he jumps up after getting hit by that scatter, and I just finish him off. Now I hate the nade that's on me right now, this tracking Titan nade, the Arc Titan nade. With the storms, it's too strong, it lasts so long, and just follows you like crazy, and I just hate it so much. We smack that guy there. I have my kill clip procced, and you can see, look at that hip fire like I'm trying to tell you. The hip fire, even from that range, I could have shot better there with that hip fire, but I get extra strafing speed because I'm not aiming down sights, and I can just smack him really easily with that hip fire and put him in the dirt, especially since I already had kill clip procced. I didn't need to hit exclusively crits to kill him really quickly. So don't sleep on the hipfire of the battler. If you want to use the battler, definitely recommend getting good with that hipfire. Now, I knew we had a res down on the right, and we had an enemy's res down on the right as well. So I wanted to try to see if I get some sight line on that. So I did see it, but I wanted to res my teammate as well. Now this guy jumps out, I smack the guy when he reses him, get my kill clip procced once I reload here, and then I take hip fire shots. Like I'm saying, look at that. Hip fire shots are so easy, especially in combination with your teammates shooting too. 34 to the head there on that last guy, and we smacked them up real good. Throw in the nade, in combination with my shots, that guy gets put in the dirt. I have my devour procced, I blink in, I smack this guy really easy. Get my nade is basically already back. You can see I blink over this guy. I only had to blink twice there onto this guy because I got caught on a ledge there. But you see, I already had my nade back by the end of that round. These guys were funny. They were the biggest pussies in the world. We smacked them 3 rounds in a row, and then they got 1 round on us because we played a little silly, and they started emoting on us, and I was like, all right, you're gonna get put in the dirt now, buddy. So that's exactly what we did. Come in here, smack these guys around, smack them. One last guy in there. I took out 2 for my teammates and let them come in and take out the last guy. And I was just like, oh boy, look at you hiding behind your shield like a little bitch you are. And my boy comes in, smacks him around. Listen, if you're gonna teabag or you're gonna emote on your enemies, you need to have the skill to back it up. If you can't do that, you probably shouldn't be doing any of those things, you know. This is going to be one of our last clips of the day, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, or hit the notification bell so you can see more in the future, I'd very much appreciate that. And I do want to say that I'm going to be putting out different gameplay coming in these next, few weeks and whatnot, so if you want to watch that, I appreciate that. But all that being said, that is it for me today. Screw these guys right here, take my nuts in your mouth, and have a great day, Guardians.